You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. This weekend, Principal Second Violinist Jeremy Buzash and Assistant Principal Violist Élise Lavallée of the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra will warm Manitoban audiences with Toot to Tango, an outdoor WSO fundraiser happening at the picturesque St. Boniface Cathedral. To tell us more, I'm joined by Élise. Hello.
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour. I have to say, it takes two to tango, and you two have become the pair that everybody's dancing to. You've become sort of tango experts these past few months, haven't you?
Yes, well, I've always loved the tango, and I have taken a few lessons myself, and I can't really do it. But at any rate, so I thought it was a fun program to put forward. We have some really good arrangements. And we will also be three at the end because Julian Pellicano is going to join us on accordion. I love the accordion, so it will really be fun music.
So just before we get to that special guest, I do want to recap. I want to backtrack just a little bit. The Lavallée Buzash duo kicked off the WSO at Home online matinee recital series back in May, performing tangos. And before that, you performed in Tangos, Mozart, and More as part of the Music and Mavens concert series. Back when I was in the studio, back when we could have people to the studio, you and Jeremy performed for us in a 107 Live. And you explained to my colleague Chris that you purchased a collection of tangos arranged for violin and viola. Did you think that you would be getting so much use out of that collection?
No, it's actually the best investment. I was looking online, and there's all sorts of people doing things and not this, not this. And then I stumbled upon this from Ut Orpheus. It's actually in Italy. And I couldn't see inside of it, but I thought, it looks interesting. So I took a gamble because I think by the time I paid for shipping, it was probably $80, just the first book that I got. And I said, wow, it looks great. He's actually a violist, the arranger. He plays, I think, with the Deutsches Symphony. So I've read about him after. So it was really nice arrangements that are actually quite challenging. So that's where the fun comes in for us.
Oh, and speaking of the fun, had you and Jeremy performed tangos together before this?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah, many times. So, I mean, as you continue to play through these arrangements, I imagine you're starting to get your own sort of interpretations. I mean, there's an improvisatory element in a tango. Do you find yourself being a little bit more adventurous the more you live with these pieces?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're also changing, not really the arrangements per se, but let's repeat this, let's go here. Now you take the tune also because Julian is there. So we're all kind of making it up at some point. It's like, hey, Julian wants to take the tune on accordion, so I'm going to accompany. You're going to do PIDs, bass. I'm not good at improvisation. I took one course in jazz, and I was just like, oh my goodness. But this is as far as I'll go. So we are also, because we know the score so well, we can take more liberties with rubato and tempo and colors and stuff. I love tangos because I think it has such depth, but also lightness. It's really like, it can be heart-wrenching, and it's also really light because there's the dance. There's always a bit of the seduction in there, and also the gravity at the same time.
Yeah.
It's fun. There's a big range.
Absolutely there is. And it feels very timely in a way. I know we really can't be dancing with physical distancing, but just the music itself, it really hits home in a whole new way these days. And you are adding one to your duo. As you mentioned, Julian Pellicano will be joining you on the accordion, on the, typically the bandoneon in a tango, an essential part of the tango form. What does it mean to have Julian playing with you?
Well, it's fun. He wants to conduct us.
Conductors, I hear, do that.
Yes. I love the accordion. It's the instrument that we chose at our wedding. It was in Quebec, and we had an accordionist come in and play all the French tunes, and we will actually play a couple really known chansons françaises on Saturday. So when Julian comes in, you add this whole thing. I mean, Julian comes from a background of, I want to say, folk music. That's the instrument he picked up because his grandpa had it, and he listened to cassette tapes and tried to imitate that on his own. It was his first instrument. Julian comes not from an academic background. It's actually a little bit like me. So we're really super at home in this type of repertoire. It's actually, it can get a little too much when we all get into it. So it's super fun. I mean, the accordion takes a lot of space musically because there's a lot of notes. It's really loud. So we start the concert without him to have something a little bit more intimate, just with the two of us. And then when we add him, it's kind of like adding the whole orchestra. And that's how he's playing it too. So.
It really does. It really does sound fantastic. I mean, a special concert in many ways. Like I mentioned earlier, you performed as part of the WSO at Home online recital. A concert where you couldn't see the audience, and now you'll have an audience in front of you. That has to be really special.
Yes, that is super fun. I have played myself outdoors for a couple residences in the French community, like old folks' homes in the French community. That was so fun to see the reaction, and people crave the music and the connection and the activities now. So I'm really looking forward to this. The space too, as you mentioned, it's a space where I've always wanted to play, and now I'm thinking that I'll have more projects there because it actually, there's an acoustic, it resonates.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
It's just beautiful during the day, it's beautiful at night, and we have the chance, thank you for the cathedral for letting us do our thing there. It really brings the charm, to the event of the get-together.
And people attending, limited to 100 people, X's marked on the ground, people will be appropriately physically distanced. The last thing that I want to bring up, Élise, is that this is a WSO fundraiser, a pay-what-you-can performance. The arts have been hit especially hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. What does it mean to you as a member of the orchestra to have community support financially and otherwise in this time?
Yeah, it means so much. I know it sounds a little cliche, but this is what we're about. It's about playing and sharing and bringing some beauty and some humanity, to our daily lives that can become routine. And we are local. We're also going to have local coffee, by the way, and Constance Pop is going to be there with local cookies and chocolates. But we're the local musicians, and we're here because of the WSO. I couldn't be here if it wasn't for the WSO, and I'm super thankful for the organization. They were able to keep us employed since the pandemic, even though we haven't had concerts because we can't. Now we will start a season. So I think it's important, if you can, come indoors when we start. If you can't, and you can come this Saturday, come. And if you can make a donation, because this is how we can keep going, how the organization is going to keep us going and keep music alive in Winnipeg. Not just classical music. This is pop music. This is movie music. This is all the things that we do in the schools. And we are also the teachers a lot for the community, the kids, the older kids. So I feel like the WSO is really instrumental in keeping the level of the arts here.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us at Classic today. It's been great reconnecting with you and wishing you a wonderful performance on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Bring your chairs.
Absolutely. Two to Tango, a WSO fundraiser featuring the WSO's Élise Lavallée and Jeremy Buzash with special guest Maestro Julian Pellicano. It takes place Saturday, September 12th, 3 p.m., St. Boniface Cathedral, a pay-what-you-can performance with all donations going to support the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. For more information, visit classic107.com.